everyone, it's Justine with another tutorial for Sew Susie stamps as well as distress inks. Today we're going to learn how to create this inspirational card. I'm going to start off using this stencil from Tim Holtz. Now I'm using the mini stencil, and I actually today just bought the large original size stencil because I want to be able to create bigger splatters, and I think having the two sizes is really useful because this is a splatter I definitely use all the time. It's one of my favorite stencils and it's so versatile. I've used stencil tape or masking tape to mask off the areas that I don't want inked. I just want to have the big ink splatter and a couple of circles off to the side. I'm going to start off with Wilted Violet, and I'm really not too sure how these colors are going to blend together or if they're even going to blend well, but I'm just experimenting today. Starting off the cardstock on my craft mat and working my way into the card ensures that I don't get harsh lines and I don't get uneven inking. I'm just going to ink about halfway through the splatter here, and then I'm going to go in and switch colors. It's really important that if you're doing this with two different colors that don't blend very well, that you clean off your stencil and your masking tape first before you continue with a new color. I'm going to go in with Picked Raspberry. This color is going to blend with the purple really well, so I'm not really too concerned about any sort of brown color coming in from mixing these two. So I'm going to mix these two colors and create the whole stencil, and I'm going to pick up my stencil and I'm just going to move it off to the side here. And now I have pink, and I want to get a color that is going to go well with pink. I am really trying hard to experiment with this Twisted Citron. I love the color. It's absolutely amazing. It's this really bright lime green, but I'm having a really hard time finding a color that blends nicely with it. The Picked Raspberry was okay, but it wasn't the best. Sometimes what's going to happen is it's going to turn brown, and that's not what you want. That's one of the reasons why I ended up stamping the fairy over top, so that you wouldn't get distracted by the color that didn't blend very well. The purple and the pink were perfect, and the Twisted Citron and the yellow were just fine. The last color I'm going to do is an orange color, and I'm going to be using Carved Pumpkin. And Carved Pumpkin is going to go extremely well with the yellow, and I don't want to blend too much into the green because that's going to make a brown color as well. So as you can see, you get this really awesome, vibrant look. It's really great, and it would have been even better if I left out that green because you wouldn't have that sort of one little brownish area in the middle. I'm going to use this fairy stamp from Sew Susie Stamps. She has a ton of different fairy stamps that are absolutely adorable, and I love them. I'm going to do a black solid stamp, nothing special. I really like the way that solid stamps look on distress ink or over top kind of as a shadow look. I think that it gives a really bold statement. So I'm just going to ink this up using Memento VersaFine ink, and because this is a really solid stamp, I want to be able to stamp more than one time just in case it doesn't give a good impression the first time. So I used the Misty stamping tool to do this. As you can see, it turned out really well, but it could be a little bit darker, so I'm just going to go again and stamp it again. This gives stunning results every single time. I'm also going to stamp the You're Amazing sentiment from Sew Susie Stamps, and I'm going to stamp that there in the bottom corner. As you can see, I'm also working on a full-size A2 card base. I ended up cutting it down to a square because I had inky fingers and I accidentally got a fingerprint on the top of the card in that really nice white space, and I decided instead of throwing the card away or thinking it's not good enough, I am just going to simply cut it down. So as you can see in my final photo, it looks a little bit different, but it's just cut into a 4x4 square. So I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. All the supplies used are listed below or in the description or on my blog. You can click here to visit my blog up at the top. Over on the right, you can click to subscribe to my channel, or on the moving video, you can click to see my last video. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.